Hello, I'm sitting with Swedish prog rockers Beardfish, who released their 6th album, Mammoth, a little over a year ago. Care to introduce yourselves?
Yeah, this is Rickard Sjöblom, and
this is Magnus.
Alright. What's something about the Mammoth album that you think sets it apart from the previous Beardfish albums?
I think we rocked out a little bit more on a couple of the songs at least. Like the Platform and Green Waves, for instance. We got a kind of a new thing going there, which I guess we started out a bit on Distant Solitaire with the title track, but it's just fun to crank the amps and play, you know. And Magnus likes to beat hard on his drums.
And I have a bigger drum kit now. I used to have a 18-inch old thumb.
Now one of these days you're going to do something crazy and get yourself a second tom. Correct?
Yeah, exactly.
Now, when fans have a chance to sit with an album for a year like they have with Mammoth, their attitudes generally change over time on the record. Now, as a musician, do you find yourselves continuously jaded by the creative process, or do your attitudes and favorite songs kind of change as well?
Yeah, they do. I mean, especially with the older stuff, you can either you appreciate it more after some time, or you sort of hate it a little bit. I mean, I don't really hate any of our albums, but I think we didn't play as good as we might have could if we given it more time or something.
Now, I've noticed with some artists, sometimes there's trouble recording or something like that kind of gives a bad impression of a song, even if it's a good song and you like the song, they just kind of hate to hear it. Do you have experiences like that?
Yeah, I think so, on the first album.
Yeah, first one, a bit on the second as well, actually. There are some stuff that we feel that way about, you know.
Especially Om en utväg fanns from the first album.
It's a
good
Swedish
song, but it's not that good. Even played, or the sound is...
Yeah, exactly. We were talking about re-recording it, especially Magnus has been talking about doing that for quite some time. I don't know if you've heard the first album. You have, yeah. It's Om en utväg fanns, the 6th track, I think. Yeah, that one could be a real killer, actually, but it's a bit tame on the album.
You certainly wouldn't be the first band to go back and visit, especially really old material.
Yeah.
Now, I'd say on the last 2 albums, it seemed that you guys moved a little bit away from the more jovial, lyrical story style, something like South of the Border. We really haven't seen something quite that extreme in the last 2 albums. Has that been a conscious effort, or just naturally moving away?
It's not been a conscious thing, actually. It's just, I mean, you got to be in a certain mood to write humorous stuff or stuff that is sort of silly, like those songs. I mean, but same with Google Ballroom Dancer. You know, it's sometimes you're in a mood to do things like that, and we haven't been for the last couple of years.
Maybe a little bit as well. It's getting further away from when you heard the Supper the first time.
Oh yeah. Probably. Thanks for that one.
This is
he is an influence.
Yeah, big influence.
Now, this is a question that's going to more pertain to Rickard. Being non-English speakers, do you find it harder to do vocal melodies in English or write lyrics in English?
Oh, that's a tough question, actually. I mean, because both of them are different, but also it comes kind of natural because of English being a language that is used a lot in Sweden, and we don't have like dubbed movies and stuff like Germany, for instance, or France.
So you're kind of forced into the English.
We're forced into the English-speaking world.
I'm sorry for that.
No, we like it. I mean, and it's. I mean, if you listen to rock and roll or heavy metal or whatever, you know, pop music from an early age, you get. I mean, you want to sing in English because it's the number one language for that. So.
Now, when you guys are writing a song and going over the lyrics, do you kind of do it in Swedish first and then translate and try and make it work, or you do start out trying in English?
No, I always start out in English, yeah.
Now you guys have been around a few years now, and you've established yourselves. Do you think you guys are still more influenced by the guys you listened to growing up, or maybe more your contemporaries like the Flower Kings or Car Mechanic or the Tangent?
Never any of those bands. I think maybe the Tangent for drum part.
Maybe a little bit after we played with them.
Yeah, because we had a thing going with them.
Yeah. Now, I'd say since you guys put out your second album, The Same Day, that was in 2006, and you've been able to turn out albums like nobody's business.
Oh.
What allows you to keep up that pace that other bands don't seem to be able to do?
I don't know. I think one thing maybe could be that we live very close to each other, and we've always had the opportunity to rehearse a lot, and I like to write songs. I write songs all the time, and we always try out new material, and everyone is very eager to get things done. It's never been a problem to schedule a recording session, for instance, because everyone is always, we should record. So it's
very good. Now this is, luckily we were able to catch you here on a North American tour.
Mm-hmm.
Not as often that we get a chance to catch you here as in Europe. What would you say is the biggest difference between the European crowds and the American fans?
They understand the humor.
Oh yeah, you do. Yeah. Because, and I mean also in the States, it's like you get very good appreciation here actually from the place, at least the places we played, because we haven't been here a lot, but we played. Gracias, señor. Robert's bringing beer. Well, Prog Day and Nearfest, those places are just like standing ovation crowds, and you never really get that when you're playing small clubs or medium-sized places in Europe. I think not really, at least. Spirit of '66 maybe in Belgium. That's a good place.
I think it feels a bit like everybody know each other here. It's like a Prog Day. It was like a family festival.
Have you ever been to Prog Day?
I've been to Prog Day. I was at Nearfest.
Oh, cool.
And that was a fantastic show, and I really take my hats off to you. I can say he's won over the crowd.
Oh,
there was no doubt about it. And I was very much looking forward to a nice performance because of it. But now when you come, especially to America, where you don't get to play as often, how do you pick out the set? Do you have sort of a way that you do rock, paper, scissors over songs you all like, or?
We have material that we prefer to play live, because there are a lot of songs that on our albums that we practically never play, and that's. I don't really know why. It's maybe because we never rehearsed them, really.
We're too lazy to learn them again.
Yeah, because when some of the songs on The Same Day, for instance, or the Destined Solitaire, they're quite difficult to play, or at least to remember if you haven't played them in a while.
Yeah.
You really have to sit down and sort of go over everything, which should be our friggin' beauty, but I mean, a bit lazy, like Magnus says, but
Alright. Now, especially here where you don't get to as often, and a little bit of time away from the shows that you have, where you're not dealing with annoying people doing interviews. What do you tend to do with your spare time here?
Oh, in the States, you mean? Go to all-you-can-eat buffets.
Do they not have those over there?
No, not really, actually. They're smorgasbords, if you know what that is.
Oh,
yeah, they have those, but that's mostly around Christmas or.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, but it's an international, internationally known thing. Yeah, but I mean, hang out as much as we can, because we don't have a lot of free time this time around, just a little. So.
Now, I mentioned before you guys have been very prolific, so I have to ask already, what's in store for the next album? Do we have any plans yet?
Yeah, it's actually recorded and ready, so it's going to be out in August.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's finished. We recorded it this spring, so in January and February. So.
Now, are there any? I'm sure you probably don't have much specifics, but plans to tour Europe already?
We do actually. Yeah. Let's see, the tour in the fall. When is it?
It's in September.
September. Yeah.
very good.
We're gonna support Flying Colors. You know, my partner.
Oh, that's right. I did see that you'd be on a few of those things. So it's gonna be an amazing show.
It's like 12 dates, I think, so throughout Europe.
That's unfortunately, since the Progressive Nation pickup, that's a very nice thing that you're able to do that.
It's actually going to be really nice to get to meet Mike at last, you know.
As I remember, he was very vocal in his support for you guys. Even before being announced for Progressive Nation, he was very...
He's been awesome, actually, nice.
Fantastic. Well, I thank you guys both very much, and I hope you have a great show, great rest of the tour. And good luck with the next record.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Nice.